Right, time for some N.S.T, and we're looking at raw and manufactured materials. Now we need to know the difference. Natural materials, you know them as raw materials, it means the same thing. So natural or raw materials are materials that come from plants, from animals, from rocks. They come directly from nature. Okay, they're found in nature just as is. Then we have manufactured or man-made materials. You know them as manufactured. And they are materials obtained from natural materials, but we change them somehow. Okay, we have to process them in some way. So let's look at some examples. If we have a look at cotton, cotton is a natural or a raw material, and we process it, we make it into clothing, into a t-shirt. Okay, and that's the manufactured material. If we look at leather, okay, it's a natural product. We change it, we manufacture it, we process it into a leather jacket. That's the manufactured material. Clay comes directly from the earth. When we manufacture it, when we process it, it becomes a clay jug, or we can make it into a clay jug. Sand we find in nature. It's a raw material. When we manufacture it, it becomes a glass. And you can get the general idea. So if it's straight from nature, it's a raw material, and once we've worked with it, once we've processed it into something else, it becomes manufactured. Let's have a look. Here's a list of materials. Can you say which ones are natural and which ones are manufactured? Okay, just pause the screen there and make yourself two little columns. See if you can separate them into raw and manufactured materials. Once you're ready, press play again and see if you got them right. Right, there's the answer. Wood, chalk, silk, oil, gold, coal, cotton, and sand we get directly from nature, from the earth. Those are raw materials. We need to process them in some way. Paper, fiberglass, leather, plastic, nylon, rayon, and tin are all manufactured materials. We've done something to them in a factory to make them what they are. Right, how's your teacher going to ask you this? Well, she could, like I gave you now, give you a list and ask you to separate into raw and into manufactured. She could ask you to draw the process. Okay, so she could give you a tree and ask you to give some examples of the manufactured uses. So you could say a tree can be made into furniture, or it could be made into paper. Okay, we use wood for paper. She could ask you to draw up a table, giving the raw material, where it comes from, and some examples of the products that it makes. Okay, for instance, you would say wool. That comes from a sheep. It's the raw material, and it's used to make jerseys. Okay, just have a read through in your book. You've got a few examples. Okay, wool and wood and clay, coal and sand, and know which each of them makes. It's a fairly easy subject. Just think: raw material or natural material comes from nature. I can get it directly from the earth, from a plant, or from an animal. Whereas a manufactured material, I've had to change that in some way. Okay, I've had to take the raw material and I've had to do something with it to make it a manufactured or a man-made material. Good luck.